You ever played D&D? I love D&D. It's one of my favorite games. But have you ever played D&D with a bunch of gang members? You see, there was a growing fear that I had in my neighborhood from my mom was that she was going to get, hurt by a bunch of gang members in my community. That's what's going to happen. I was scared. So I ended up getting a bunch of people in blue and a bunch of people in red and having them hang out at my house on the same day. Now, this was dangerous. This was not a smart idea. I don't recommend initially doing this unless you're really good at talking to people. So I had them come over same day. I had some grilled cheese. The grilled cheese had cream cheese, American cheese, and I had tomato soup. And I had apple juice. Now, this was food to settle them down. So we all meet in my basement. We all just chill out in my basement. So this is the fun part. They all immediately see each other and are just like, oh, man, that's Ray Jack. That's Ray Jack. Man, what? And they're just mad at each other like, whoa, calm down. I got food for us, bro. Chill out. I'm cool with his sister, and I'm cool with their brothers. Like, I just wanted to hang out. I just wanted to get to know y'all right quick. I didn't know what was going on. Then they explained to me that they're both on opposite sides of the color spectrum. I'm just like, that's fine and dandy. I didn't know that. I did know that, but I didn't want to tell them that. And I was like, listen, I just want to introduce y'all to a game called D&D. And they're just like, oh, you mean that nerd shit, huh? I'm like, yeah, I just want to teach you guys about it. I ended up teaching them, character sheets for them and things of that nature. But they weren't going to play regular D&D. I don't think they would enjoy high fantasy of that variety. So I homebrewed an entire game. First homebrew game, we played 2 different sessions. We did 2 campaigns, by the way. I want to point out this was very successful. First campaign we did was a homebrew of Detroit. And the goal of the campaign was to get to Canada. That was it. That was the whole goal of the campaign, get to Canada. Had to make their own characters, had to pick specific races. There was the street pharmacist. The street pharmacist was one of the people that had a bunch of extra abilities, and I used help from Reddit to help make the classes and things of that nature. I wish ChatGPT was out during this time. It would have been way easier. You can just put these into ChatGPT. It would have got done immediately. But I had a notepad and stuff like that, and I wrote down everything, and I was their dungeon master. This game went on for like 7 months, which on the real span of things, a shorter campaign, we actually ended up meeting, and they had to lie to their friends in order to play with me. They had to be like, oh yeah, I'm hanging out with a KK and stuff like that. It was like, oh man, I think I saw old boy from other colors over there. Like, nah, I ain't see him. Nah, that's not true. And they ended up actually becoming friends and ended up actually getting out of the gang life because it was childish to them after they got done playing D&D, and they also wanted to do another campaign. And the second campaign we did was a homebrew of Candyland. That was nuts. We had different races like the Licorice Troopers. We had the Marshmallow Car Shows. We had the Gumball Mafia. It was so fun how we had this whole game going. And I made a separate class that wasn't like strictly candy based. It was just called the Jawbreakers. It was a black guy, and he had his fists were a coating of jawbreakers around him. That was the whole thing. But man, that was a fun time. Ended up actually helping my mom out in the long run. Really good time.